my favorite parts of China was one-in-a-lifetime experience first off, but was Tai Chi at the Summer Palace. It was beautiful, had flowers everywhere, and we had a Kung Fu master who was actually a woman who taught us Tai Chi. It was so fun. Also, we went to the Temple of Heaven to see how the locals lived, and they were like 70, 60 years old, like old men like doing flips on bars, and it was crazy, and I like sent it right to my mom. It was so cool. It was amazing.
I'm 17 and I can do that.
对，天坛公园直接直播啊！嘿，好漂亮！
I'm sending that to my mom ASAP.
Bargaining in China was so much fun. Being able to use your language ability to bargain for goods, it's just breathtaking. The look on their face when they see an American speaking Chinese like we were and bargaining for these goods, it was just so much fun to do.
It was such a great cultural experience because it was so different from America. It's also very fun to talk with the locals. Even if you don't fully understand what they're saying, it was still nice to kind of explore and have an adventure.
Yeah, one of my favorite experiences when we had the former vice president's chef. He cooked for us. He hosted us in his home and cooked us a meal on this really cold day. It was the best meal, I thought. But it was just so nice to have him host us and to see how these families live and how they make a living.
And what was amazing about that was that we took a rickshaw to his house, which was so much fun. It was really exhilarating.
It was great.
In China, we were in Beijing, and we were given the opportunity to go out for hot pot, and it was so much fun. And so when everyone was trying to put their food in, they would lose it, and so 5 minutes later they'd go fishing for their food and they could not find it, and then they'd find it sometime later.
My favorite part of China had to have been in Shanghai when we went to the world's largest Starbucks, when I dragged the whole group to go with me, and it was definitely like an amazing experience. It's huge.
My favorite part was when we went to an acrobatics show in Shanghai. That was a lot of fun to watch.
I really liked going on the Great Wall of China because it was so awe-inspiring and it was really fun.
My favorite part was our first day in Beijing when we got to go to the Beijing Zoo and see all the giant pandas.
My favorite part was going to Yangshuo, which is out in the countryside in China. We saw farmland and we saw these beautiful mountains. It was like nothing I've seen before.
The China trip was a great experience for me as someone that's a student of the language as well as someone who just likes to have fun. I got to do a lot of things that I would have never done if I didn't go on the trip. For example, on the Great Wall, I got to speak to 2 native speakers and I got to find out that they were like architects, and being able to use the language and see that it works like with people who actually live in the country was like really satisfying for me. Another thing that I did was bargaining, which is also really fun. I got to lower prices from almost 50% of what they were initially asking for, and I thought that was really neat.
I'm very happy that I went on this trip to China because it made me realize how great it is to step out of your boundaries. Like, I had never been out of the country without my parents before, and going all the way across the world made me realize that using your boundaries, it allows you to experience so many new things that just have a huge impact on you.
We made so many great memories, and it was nice being able to connect with people who I usually don't talk to, and I think we were able to build a lot of trust, which also made this an amazing trip.
My favorite part of the China trip was how we got these really awesome expert tour guides, and it was really cool to see the cities and learn about the culture that way. But then at night and sometimes during the day, we got time to go out with our friends, and that was really cool because it was like a whole different experience, like getting to really figure things out for yourself. That was cool.
My favorite part was when we were biking around the city wall, and there was like a lantern festival, and it was really pretty because there were all these lights and stuff, and it was just very aesthetic.
It was so much fun.
Very good experience, yeah.
The fact that we were able to get to China, it was amazing. It was a very great experience. Probably the highlights of the trip to Yangshuo. It was a great city on fire. People are always moving. Something is always going on. And we had to climb this hill called the Moon Hill. It was absolutely outstanding. The view was incredible.
The thing I liked was
was like getting to see the night market in Guilin because it was really cool at night when there were just people everywhere and like it was really loud and there was music. It was just fun to walk around and like see how people were living.
Another thing that we loved in Guilin was actually the rafting down the river, bamboo rafting, where we had each person. There were two to a raft, and each person had a driver
Yes.
with a pole who would actually push us along the river, and it was extremely picturesque, views better than I've ever seen before, and it was really a fantastic eye-opening experience to see what it's like out in the country. And
slowly meandering down a river, like talking to each other, raft to raft. It was absolutely breathtaking. Definitely need to go on this trip. You need, like,
10 out of 10.
If there's one thing, like, you get so many good pictures. It's such a good time with your friends. Like, definitely worth it.
Farmer's house in Guilin too, and that was really cool. We saw 3 generations of farmers in the farmland. They talked about how that was all how their farm was all throughout their family and how they were also held back then with Chairman Mao and stuff. So we got to learn their history, and we also got to see their animals, which was really cool, like baby goats. Water buffaloes. I'd never seen a water buffalo before. That was really cool.
Oh my god, it's the cutest thing ever. Oh my god.
That one's
It's the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
Did you the chicken
Overall, the trip was just really nice to be immersed in a different culture. It was a lot different from the US, but it was really cool to see how all the different people live.
This trip was really rewarding for me because I went in not speaking any Mandarin. It was definitely a huge culture shock at first, but I learned how welcoming and friendly Chinese people are, and I was able to immerse myself in the culture and have a really great time, and I was able to try a lot of traditional foods like soup dumplings, which are very yummy.
Incredible.
Memorable.
Very memorable.
Enthralling.
Beautiful.
Fascinating.
Immersive.
Delicious.
Educational.
Life-changing.
Mind-blowing.
Once in a lifetime experience.
Amazing.
Eye-opening.
Rewarding.
What an adventure.
breathtaking.
Enriching.
Stunning.
Exciting.
Wow.